Cheers. I feel I need to get one more concept off my chest while it's running through my head on Battlestar Galactica. And I'm just basing this concept along with Battlestar Galactica because it's convenient. But it's an affinity for planets. And Battlestar Galactica is a good soapbox to stand on top of to get my point across, or get my idea out there. And there's another series that I thought was absolutely wonderful called Babylon5. I'm sure if you are at all geeky enough to remember this, you probably liked it as well. The whole concept, though, in Battlestar Galactica was in the end to find a planet to colonize. Their entire push was to find a planet, and after they found a planet, they would just live there and be happy forever and ever and ever and ever. Why is this a goal? If you follow my logic, just for a minute, they had, from what I could see, except for being shot at a lot, everything they really needed in space. They were traveling through the galaxy, exploring, finding resources, finding fuel, which is a contention I have with Battlestar Galactica, but we'll let that go. They're finding fuel, finding resources, and then refining said resources to suit their own needs. What exactly would they have done differently on a planet? They would have found resources, refined said resources, to use them for their own needs. Wow, that's kind of similar to what they were doing in space already. In the series Babylon5, Babylon5 was a giant space station, in space, obviously, that had its own agricultural complex inside of it. It was a giant tube that spun to make centrifugal force for gravity on the outside of the rim. So it was essentially its own planet. It had its own atmosphere, its own soil, its own agricultural, like I said, agricultural complex, its own refineries, its own shops and cities. It was itself a planet. Except it could get out of the way of things. In a very short time, I don't think being on a planet is going to be the end-all be-all. One of my goals in life, and I plan on getting there as soon as possible, is to get into space. But I don't want to go into space just to look for another place to build a house. I want to go into space and make space my house. Finding another planet would be fun, but colonizing another planet, I don't see the reason. Once you're able to be in space and survive, that to me is one of the greatest achievements we could do. If you live on a planet and it's threatened by an asteroid, right now, we'd be fucked. There's nothing we could do. We could launch every nuclear warhead at it that we have, and it wouldn't even slow it down. Landing a probe on it and drilling it in to cause a detonation from the inside? Another Hollywood movie. It may be possible, but I don't trust that. Wouldn't it be better to be in a space station or living in space already, and when you look up and see an asteroid, go, oh, I'm going to go over here and let it go by? The survival of the human race depends on us getting into space. This planet will have a disaster. I don't know what the disaster will be, and nobody does, but you can be assured it will have one. I don't want to be here, or at least I don't want to be on the planet when it does.